we live?
We're live.
Awesome. Yeah, feel free to bring us in, Highlander.
Well, welcome to the Link to the Cure. This is Kain running Zelda 100% all keys. An estimate time of 1:35. Kain's run this game now for a couple years, so it should be a pretty good run. With me here is Fricker.
Hello, everybody.
And it should be a decent day. So this category is 100% all items. It doesn't include consumables, but you kind of want to get your one-ups, and you've got to get every key in every palace.
It's a fun time.
It's a fairly completionist game, but you get to see the entire game, and it's got all the combat, all the palaces, and it is the most run category.
No, it looks like Game forgot to set -279 for his time. It's not a huge deal. He should just start.
He forgot to set that. Wow. So we should check his PB, I guess. See if it is what it says it is.
Oh, it looks like we're starting. So this is actually one of my favorite Zelda games to speedrun. Kind of a childhood memory, and to be honest with you, casually, this game is pretty tough, but speedrun-wise, I think it's extremely fun.
The game's extremely fluid with the control of Link, which is what gives it the extra little oomph and value to it, I guess. Even with the speed tech and it not being too rough, once you get used to the game, it's still really rewarding to finish it.
Yeah, for sure. It feels really good. It looks like the overworld is kind of choppy. I'm not sure if that's just because Kain's also streaming to Discord.
I think it might be.
Hopefully it looks fluid on stream. But yeah, Kain entered that cave, pick up the first magic jar to increase our magic bar. He is also going to get a pea bag in the forest here, mainly because he wants to get as much experience as he can before he finishes Palace 1, because we really want to be on Attack 4 coming out of there.
Attack 4's got it's a 50 or 70 or sorry, without having 80 XP going into the first palace, you're looking at a 25% chance of getting it. You're kind of relying on a couple 50-50 drops, but they're frame based, so it's kind of there's no minute to get these just bang on every time.
Yeah.
So the force bag's a fairly safe way to get the extra XP at the start versus going for the early trophy, where you do have a chance to fall in lava, and then you're down lives. And in this category, you don't want to be down lives. It is a 1 credit clear, which means you can't game over.
Yeah, that does make it pretty tough. But luckily, throughout the speed run, there's multiple extra lives that Kain's likely going to pick up for the run.
It allows for a few death abuse and some refilling of your magic. So right now, he just got the shield spell, and all towns will be called by their respective spell name, because it's easier.
Yeah, definitely true.
So the first couple caves here, we've got no candle, but Kain's going to make his way to the first heart, and there's a couple little nips here. You can always dodge these encounters with the little stopping spots he's going to do. The overworld encounters are random for how they spawn, but they behave certain ways. And he's going for what's known as a bubble skip. So Kain just skipped the first forced encounter. Choosing to beat this little gorilla down.
Yeah,
making that hair grab safe.
Nobody wants to do that bubble screen twice.
No, the bubble screen. The weird thing about Zelda 2 is you always get knocked in the off or to the right on a bubble screen, no matter what side you hit them or anything else. So it makes the screen kind of dangerous. Is when they're close to a side, you can't make Link face a different way and just damage boost over them. You're always gonna fall in the pit.
Yeah, it always seems that no matter which way you're going, if you get bopped by an enemy, it's right at a pit.
So another little minute here to get him into Palace 1 without any world encounters.
So Palace 1, in my opinion, is one of the hardest dungeons to get through, especially early game, because we're really low on health. We don't have a lot of defense, and we don't have any healing spells or upgraded sword techniques. So it can be very tough to get through here.
Yeah, even on the vanilla or just a casual first time playthrough, this palace is going to give you a lot of difficulty. Every bot, no matter what you put your life at, and here's going to take a bar away from you, and you only have 5.
Yeah. So you see, when Kane gets his experience up, he's going to be skipping a few of the first levels. That's mainly to focus on all of his experience going mainly to the attack level up. So, like we were talking about earlier, Kane wants to get to attack 4 once he finished Palace 1. So nothing will be going to magic or life in the meantime.
In this game, the faster you can kill something, the faster you can move, and every second level doubles your attack power. So having an OP attack level early on just really speeds the game up in general, and it keeps you from dying because you get hit less. Now, Stelphos here having a low hitbox is going to do some safer crouch stabs.
Also, these little blue bots in the levels, they are the worst enemy in the game.
Oh, they're 100% random. If you go to crouch and stab one, it's going to jump in your face. If you try to jump one, it's going to hit you into a pit.
Yeah, they're just bullies.
So he did skip the first Stelphos, and that's to change his 200 bag drop here. It's going to be on his way back up. And it's actually a little XP minute so that he can kill everything and worry about just getting 1 bag.
So these enemies are called Chewies because they look like Chewbacca.
They had the exact same throw pattern as the Hammer Bros and Mario. Which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Why is there always like Mario stuff in Zelda games?
I'd like to say it's a homage, but I'm leaning more towards it's most likely easier to program something that's been done.
Yeah, I suppose that makes sense. So these little red guys hopping around through the screens, they're not particularly hard to kill, but if he does get bopped by one, they do take away his experience.
Yeah, we're looking at 10 XP a bop, and
yeah, it's something we want to avoid for sure.
so right there. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, you were gonna explain it. Go ahead, you're good.
Oh yeah, Kane jumped at a wall right there, and he just did an elevator stab there, and that's actually on purpose to change the bubble positions right here. He jumped at a ceiling 2 rooms ago, and it actually fixed the position to be lower. Coming down here, he made all the positions static, so we could just stab them and get through. So there's a few different rooms in this game, and I'll try to say them as they come up. There, you're actually manipulating the room, the next room from the room prior.
There are also a few different route options that speedrunners will do in this game. And I believe Kane hit the town early, so he does have shield right now. So throughout this dungeon and specifically on the boss, he can elect to cast shield if he wants.
Yeah, it's going to actually help quite a bit. If you're low life going into Horsehead and he knocks you back 400 feet, you're going to have a bad time. Kane getting the candle. So all the rooms now will be lit up for him, and that's going to be particularly helpful in Death Mountain and the next hard part of the game.
So as Kane makes his way back through some of the rooms he already visited, he is going to be killing a Stelphos here and crossing his fingers that he gets a P-Bag drop for 200 versus a red jar.
Let's go. Oh, choosing to fight it out. Gets the P-Bag. That was a minute, I guess, so good on Kane. Last one will give him more than enough XP than he needs. We're set.
Yeah. Oh, going for the 50 fairy. Nice.
Oh, good. That's a nice strat, actually. That fairy's kind of key to getting through the early palace if you're taking any sort of bot damage.
Yeah, when you're running this game and you get that first P-Bag drop, it's just like a huge breath of relief to be able to come out of here with attack 4.
Oh, right now it's gonna knock the hits he has to do to enemies by half almost.
Yeah, and also coming out of Palace 1 with attack 3, you're likely to have to go through Death Mountain with attack 3, which you really don't want to do.
Oh, you've got to fight stuff forever without it. Oh, gets the double P bag drop. Now, you
Yeah.
could have picked that up and taken an extra life level there, too.
I think Kain likes to take life in the cave just in case he gets bopped on the first screen. But yeah, it makes sense. He didn't need that P-Bag at all. This boss will give him 50 XP, which will bring him over the cap that he needs. Very nice horse head fight by Kain.
Grabbing that key max style.
So you see when Kain puts the crystal in this little statue here, he gets all the XP that he needs right now. So even if he's at 1 XP out of 5,000, he's going to get all the XP he needs to get to the next level. So this will allow us to get to attack 4.
Yeah, the gem abuse is a fantastic piece of tech. Taking his first overworld encounter.
Yeah. Overworld encounter, I think, is like, was it like
6
a 4?
seconds?
6 seconds? Okay, 6-second time loss, yeah. They can be bullies, man. Overworld encounters are very tough because once you get into one by accident, it's just like quicksand.
Oh, they'll snowball on you faster than, well, snowballs, I guess?
That sounds pretty fast.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Kain is making his way to the Trophy Cave, I believe.
Yes, he is. The Trophy Cave's going to let him get his next spell, and Agria stole this from the town itself. He's going to knock one of those jerks off.
So throughout the run, we have to kind of collect like little trinkets, if you will, and that's for a lot of the townspeople. They are looking for specific things or a lot of specific things that Link needs to find in order for Link to get access to certain spells throughout the game.
The spells are, they range from extremely fun to, well, you don't use it. But this next spell is a required spell, even without 100%. You've got to jump in the jump cave. So right now he's entering what's known as Pepsi Town. Kain's cracking open his first Pepsi according to his splits. The run really doesn't start until you hit this town. Before that, it tends to be a bit of a reset fest, either from a death or, well, not getting the attack 4.
And you'll see throughout the towns too, typically the lady in the red dress will heal Link, while the older lady in the orange dress will heal all of Link's magic. So if you see Kain to stop by either of those throughout the towns, that's what he's doing.
Kain picking up his jump spell now. You'll see it get used a few times through the run. Kain will likely use shield a lot less now. Oh, he's gonna make his way into the jump cave. The rooms are fairly fun to do. This next room in particular, because as long as you don't stutter going in, everything's on a room timer. And this next set of kills is kind of satisfying.
Yeah, it looks like he did take a bop. But luckily, the next thing we're going to level up is life. So we'll get our health back.
This is another some of the route variations you can do. You can change your leveling quite a bit based on the situation, which is kind of nice. So we took another hit.
Yeah, throughout this next part of the overworld and through Death Mountain, Kain's going to be getting his levels up to Magic 2 and Life 3 before he hits the next palace.
Yeah, if you don't get through the next palace with proper leveling, you're going to have a really hard time for the rest of the run. So Kain's going to focus everything to make sure he's set up for at least 300 XP leaving that palace. With some lucky bag drops, he's in really good shape now for the run.
Oh, he gets a fairy on the second encounter and the third. Fairy overworld encounters are kind of mean because they're unpredictable and they can go anywhere, so they're very tough to avoid. But luckily, with the fairy encounter, they're shorter than a regular encounter. So
They just tend to you kind of want a fairy every once in a while just to fill your life up, but they won't come near you until you're trying to avoid it, and then it's just gonna walk right into
yeah, exactly. You want a fairy, and it's like, all right, peace out. We're going across the map somewhere else.
Kain taking some trollfish pops. Luckily, that's it for the encounters getting into the town. So he didn't have too bad of Bagoo Walk, and the Bagoo Walk itself is kind of a pain in the butt. And you have to make it to get your letter for Riverman. It's a kind of a stopping point for a casual run of the game or a casual walkthrough. Link talking to himself. He found himself a mirror.
Yeah, just in a random house under the dining room table. He's like, oh, look, in the mirror.
How would you find that as a kid? Well, the instruction manual tells you to press B everywhere.
Yeah, this game casually is extremely cryptic, and there are a lot of hints that all the townspeople will give you, but it's very, very tough to find the next cryptic thing that you need to do.
Yeah, the translation and the limits on the text boxes really hurt it. The hints were there, but they just didn't translate too well. Link getting his life spell now. This spell is probably going to be the most used in the game now.
Yeah, definitely. Life is, well, life-saving.
Oh, Kain skipped the magic refill. But he did refill his life, which is good going into the first cave. Now we can refill his magic right away, probably within the first 2 or 3 hits.
Yeah, he probably just figures he's going to level up magic next, so he already lost some time in some of the encounters, so he's like, yeah, maybe I'll save a few seconds here.
Yeah, it is about 2.5, 3 seconds to talk to the lady, so. Then you get a menu and fill up life.
Now, Death Mountain in this game as a kid, I was like, I don't understand where to go.
No, Death Mountain's got some linking issues.
I think
It's a lot of caves.
Yeah, probably one of the hardest Death Mountains in a Zelda game, and they're in every Zelda game, so.
Yeah, the difficulty spike here was a little much, I guess, with the Dairas. And everything hits like a truck on Link until you get to like life 5.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this room here is actually kind of annoying. These aches and bots are random and love to beat the crap out of you.
Is that what the bats are called in this game? Is aches?
Yes. Aches and Aikmen are the red ones.
They need to make up their mind. Bats, Aikman, keys, like, come on. What are these things called? They're bats.
Well, yeah. Why do we need a different name for them anyway?
Are they called bats in any Zelda game?
I don't think. What were they in Breath of the Wild? Did they go back to geese or?
I'm not sure on that, but it's definitely funny.
Like I can understand bots not being called slimes or something, but just call them a bat.
Yeah. Bots is an okay name, but I think when I play, I end up just calling them jellies.
Well, yeah, that changed too.
Yeah, it did.
But at least we still have Grias and Moblins.
The mustache men.
Well, even in this, you go from Iron Knuckles. Well, these are the Iron Knuckles, but I mean, you had we had Iron Knuckles, and what were the first ones?
I'm not sure.
Dang, that's gonna bug me now.
All right, so looks like Kain got a red jar drop. I believe it's every 6 enemies. Kain will get a drop. Is that correct?
Oh yes, actually, it's every 6th enemy does have a 50-50 drop, whether it's a big group or a small group. They both keep their separate count, so like 6 bot kills will drop a bag or a jar, and 6 of the big enemies will drop a bag or a jar. And the bots will drop a blue jar, which is 1 bar of magic, or a 50 bag, and the big guys will drop either a red jar, which completely refills your magic, or a 200 bag.
Yeah, and all throughout this Death Mountain, there's a few chances to actually get a 200 P-Bag drop. So Kain did get the red jar on the 50-50 drop. So his next drop, he really wants a 200 P-Bag, or else he's going to have to kill quite a bit of
Yeah,
extra enemies in P2.
yeah. Tends to slow down a run when you got to kill them. Though it's got some of the most combat in the game, so I suppose it's kind of a fun palace too.
Oh yeah, this game by far has the best combat. It is so much fun.
Oh, Link, you can control tiny movements in them, and it just makes it so fluid. You can do fun tricks like double hits where you hit an enemy twice in one swing, or within a couple frames, I guess. It's not one swing,
Oh,
it's two.
looks
Another
like yeah,
feature, yeah.
sometimes that's just the way she is.
And if you're getting beat up, a jar's not so bad. Like, Kane's going to be okay on his XP. He's not in danger of not having enough. That's only on an attack 3 run. He does have to kill everything.
All right, so the reason we came through this very long Death Mountain cave system is to grab the hammer, which you just saw Kane do. That allows us to break boulders that are blocking kind of like fast ways and kind of shortcuts throughout the overworld.
Yeah, once you complete Death Mountain, it actually helps you with your game overs in this. Or speed up any other small areas with the boulder break. And it's also hiding a couple key items.
Yeah, there's some caves with like boulders in front of it where we have to get like medicine for a lady to get some magic and heart pieces and things like that. So
Getting another magic jar. Lots of little fun with the manips, but Kane choosing the easier cave ducks.
yeah, Kane going in and out of that cave will reset the overworld encounter, so he won't get into one. So good.
There's actually 2 ways the overworld encounters will spawn. You've got your step counter and you have your time counter. Time counter's on a tick, which is 255 of them. I think it's like 2.5. It's different on every tile actually. So your forest tile will spawn faster time wise, and the lava encounters are something like every 2 seconds. And the step counters are every 16 steps. So you can actually manipulate the overworld a little bit. Like he's going to do what's called the boulder dash here in a second when he comes out the other side of here. Kane's got a boulder that's going to be in his way, and he's going to break it and take an encounter right on the left-hand side of it, and he's going to be able to walk all the way to the medicine cave without taking another encounter.
I guess yeah. Sometimes it really just depends on if he gets an early encounter or not.
Yeah, you
But
can take one in the grave or the woods here or desert.
I think if he doesn't get a good encounter, he'll probably just go right for Cat's tile.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say earlier you just saw Kane pick up an extra life doll, so
Yeah, that extra life doll's gonna help Kane out a bit. It's a good insurance one, especially pre P4.
So I'm pretty sure Kane didn't boulder dash, nor did he do Cat's tile, and that's a big
No,
reason.
Kane just walks straight to it.
Yeah,
There is a
he's just
backup
going right to it. Yeah, you don't want to take an encounter in that swamp, but it was okay.
Yeah, he made it out of that side pretty quick. So even waiting for cap style sometimes, that he probably didn't lose very much time right in there. Probably just about 2 seconds by just going there. It's actually not too bad. Medicine Cave, the greatest spot to practice your diary kills. So Kane picked up the medicine, which he's going to exchange for goods and services. He's going to go straight for his fairy spell. And the most OP attack in any game ever created, the down stab.
Oh man, game just opens up once you get the down stab. Thank God.
You can skip everything in the game. Or just, there's so many sleek kills you can do with it. One of the most satisfying things in the world.
Yeah, we'll see Kane do the jackhammer technique coming up pretty soon. Palace 3, I think.
Palace 3, you kill your first blue iron knuckle with the jackhammer. Kain taking 2 encounters on the way back. This spot of the game is really hard to get a decent walk. You're really just hoping leaving the 1-up tile. But makes it through pretty quick. Entered Fairy Town. Kain's skipping a life refill right there, but with good cause. He's going to come to a cave that will give him another heart. And that's going to refill him too.
You know, it's funny too, because I have some friends that speedrun this game as well, and they just get super annoyed with me when I call it like Life Town, Fairy Town. They're like, just call it by the town name. And I'm like, this is the only way I know it.
Oh, this is the only way I've heard most people call it. Well, I hear some, I guess, use the actual names, but this is how everybody was calling it back then when I started this, so I just kind of fits.
Yeah.
Plus, you just know what spell you're getting. Like, it's easier.
Yeah, if someone were to be like, yo, Frick, where's Kasuto? I'd be like, dude, I have no idea.
That's the only town I know because there's 2 of them.
I have no idea.
You get your old Kasuto and your new Kasuto. It's funny, I don't even call that Spell Town, I call it Hidden Town.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that makes sense too, though.
So that's another part of the crypticness of Zelda 2 is the fact that you can destroy trees with your hammer, and it will actually uncover certain tiles. Kain probably going to do a little step up when he leaves his town. It's going to help set the walk up. Yes, he did. So it's going to make this spot here easier to dodge, and he's going to get all the way to the next boulder without another encounter, which is a fantastic block. He's pretty good for life right now. This Gria coming up can knock the crap out of you sometimes, and he hits like a... There it is. It's a bar and a half. Take one of his boomerangs, and getting bodied by those will drop you pretty quick. It's not fun when you get a refill right there.
And that fairy spell that Kain just picked up, that's actually required in a few different spots throughout the run, but can also really help to save you from falling in lava or a pit.
Oh, having that queued up, if you're quick enough on the select button, it's going to get you out of a bind.
I suppose that's another thing that we didn't quite really talk about is queuing up magic attacks or spells. You have to hit the spell menu every time and kind of hover over the spell you want to cast before you're able to do it. And once you cast it, you can't recast the same spell again. You have to re-select it.
Yeah, that's something that's actually free at the end of a gem too for a little bit of speed tech. You can queue it up while the fanfares are going, and you actually won't lose any time in a game.
Kain picking up first try 50-50 red jar out of that Iron Knuckle statue. Gotta love it.
I never did talk about the swamp walk either. That's another unfortunate part of this game is the fact that you've got to trudge through this swamp twice. And the encounters are not forgiving.
Yeah, and surprisingly, the way there is not too bad, but the way back is just horrendous.
Oh, you can go from 0 to 4 encounters in the matter of just being unlucky. Never did count Kain's last drop. I didn't see if it was a 200 bag or a red jar.
Yeah, I wasn't sure on that last drop either.
Was in the Heart Cave, but would have been a 200 bag because he didn't ferry the heart. There we go.
Yeah, and what Highlander said, we can ferry hearts and item pickups. It allows us to save, I think, right around like 3 seconds in like Link's pickup animation. So when he ferries, he'll just grab the item and we can go right away.
Yeah, it's really nice actually. It's not a huge amount over the course of over an hour run, but it just feels nice when you're standing still in this and just holding an item over your head. It feels a lot worse than it really is. Being able to pick one up like that and save for 3 seconds it's a great little save to have in a split the offset encounters. Kain getting his first key in this palace. Second key, I guess. Blue Stalfos, the first unfortunate enemy you actually have to fight in this game. They jump randomly. They're not a lot of fun when you have to kill them, and Kain was low enough on XP that he actually has to kill a lot of things in this. Normally you can skip a lot of these, but not having too many 200 bags. He's safe, but still want the attack 5 as fast as you can get it to feel good and speed up a couple of the kills.
Yeah, you saw Kain wait out that blue bot. This is a very, very tough screen.
Kain doing this just the right way. Ferry this room as soon as you pick up a key. It's gonna save your run. It's gonna save your run, and you get a free red jar in the next room after this. But Kain getting one anyway. So now he can refill his life and get another jar to refill his magic. To let Annie Fairy decided to be a jerk. So you're going to want to queue Fairy up too for the room after this. Don't think he has enough.
I don't think he'll have enough
right now.
Yeah, no. He won't be able to get it.
So we're coming up to a block room, which is also known as the middle finger room, and Link can take some knockback damage from these blocks. It's a random fall pattern, and you can actually get blocked from getting into the next room. You can actually get blocked between them and die.
Yeah, also don't Fairy at the top of the screen, because you'll transition to the beginning of the dungeon.
Yeah, if you're in the HUD at all, Link will wrong warp back out of the palace.
Let's just pretend I've never done that on PB Pitch before.
Oh no! Palace 4?
Yeah.
Oh no.
But that's how you learn, right?
Exactly. Kain's about to hit attack 5. It's really nice. He's got the glove now as well. We didn't talk about that. So with that, the blocks that were falling on the way in, he can actually destroy those and destroy them in any palace now.
Unfortunately, he won't be able to kill this Moa down here, so he's going to have to deal with the fire.
This is the impossible kill, though, so it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And Kain is now safe for the run to have his attack levels at the end of every palace with the gem abuse. Attack 5 is where you really start to notice Link's killing ability. Knowing only violence. These turret rooms can be fairly unforgiving as well. They made it through pretty smooth.
Once you get hit once, it's like you just keep getting hit. You just
they don't.
Pass them.
Yeah, there's no break in them. It's actually just absolute lucky. You just got to jump at one and hope you block it on the way down. Or you're going back for another attempt, and then a blue Stalfo starts hitting you in the back.
This game's fun, isn't it?
It's really selling it. Making it through that Chewy really fairly safely. Getting hit a lot before the next couple rooms, kind of a pain in the butt. Those Doom Rattlers or Chewies can still hit you quite a bit. So Kain, that elevator stab was a manip. It's going to change the guy's pattern that's throwing the hammer, so Kain should be able to walk right through depending on what this bot does. And there it is.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Fantastic enemy. That part being not as sketchy as it looks. Link's got a fairly responsive jump. And you've got a lot of time before the crumble bridge goes. Kain just killing everything.
Yeah, he shouldn't need to kill anymore. Kane's gonna get, I believe, 200 XP on this next boss, so it'll take him where he needs to go.
He's got to be careful right here. He does. Okay, he had a drop. But Kain was careful to stop. If you transition the screen during a level up, it'll actually soft lock the game.
Very nice helmet head kill.
Goes down very quickly. Helmet head hits really hard. So even at life 3, Kain actually didn't have much life compared to what helmet head can do. I think it's only 4 hits. Kain gonna take attack 6.
All right, the return of the swamp walk.
He's gonna take this tile. Might go straight up to the next set of roads. No, he's not. He's gonna take it, walk straight. Oh, he did.
He's gonna wait it out. Okay.
That's always a gamble too. You can try to wait it out, and they can take you quick, and this is really fast. Or it can sit there and hover underneath the blink, and you end up wasting as much as the encounter would have taken.
Yeah,
but
he might get another encounter after this one too.
Depends on where the step line's up now. You get a double leave in here. Takes it right on the road, which is probably the best choice. One more to dodge before the road, and it gets him in the road. But all roads aren't that bad. You don't take any damage. It's worth only 2 of the encounters.
So we're going to be falling down a grave here to get towards Palace 3 and actually use our ferry that's required in this portion to get much higher than we're able to jump.
Kain remembers to queue it up before he casts himself a nice little shield. Palace 3, the Island Palace, the only outdoor section in a palace, which is kind of cool. As brief as it is. Set up a nice little manip here. Get himself by. Oh. Takes a desert.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest time losses in this game, and sometimes for really good runners, the only time lost is just overworld encounters that can be so brutal.
It's such a swing in your time. And you can have entire splits where you've taken an extra 20 or 30 seconds just by rolling the dice on the walk. And getting the resetting that statue until he gets himself a nice jar. Going into a palace with beams it's fairly important, even if you have no enemies to kill with it. Just being able to push one back.
All right, so one thing you'll see starting now throughout here is Kane's going to have to be doing quite a bit of, like, I believe it's the 3 tile jumps, which can be really, really tough.
Get a 3 tile and a 4 tile coming right up.
Yeah, they're very tough to hit, especially the 4 tiles.
And Kain forgot he had down stab in the last room too, which is unfortunate. Oh,
those doom knockers, man. They do so much damage.
Oh, man, they hit hard. And when the hammer reverses on you, you don't have any time to jump it. It's just a quick jerk, and it like skips 20 pixels coming back. No mute. Good jump. Okay, here it comes. So this one here, your foot almost has to be off when you go for the jump. Oh, he misses it. So Kain gonna kill this guy and do the easier jump up. You can rock back and forth on that 1 tile and make it up. But once you get down there and you're in a run, everything freezes up and you just end up rocking back and forth and back and forth. And you lose a lot of time.
Kain also took Magic 3. After this, he'll be canceling the rest of his level ups so he can save for attack 7.
Yeah, Kain wants to have that attack level even here. You can opt to go for life 4 in here sometimes, but you need to kill literally everything, and it can be quite frustrating, as well as go for the extra bag just in case under some tiles.
This room is so scary without jump.
Oh, Kain gonna take
even with jump, you can still get blocked. So
Oh yeah, a bot will move just as you're about to down stab it on the way down. The only thing jump does is give you a straight up and down angle, so you don't get bounced as far off. But even when you kill one, you can bounce off of it. That's your first jackhammer.
Yeah, that was very nicely done by Kain. Basically,
Yeah,
you just have to hit the down stab at the right moment, and then once you get the first hit, you just basically spam down. And because Link is pinned up against the top of the wall, every down stab that he hits is going to be an extra hit. So as he's passing through the enemy, we can hit them multiple times.
it's the only sword tech 100% frame based. You could press down 60 times in a second. You could actually hit every single one of them. Ooh, that was a little high on the spawn. So there's a jar, 50-50 jar in one of those heads. It's probably smart he just skipped it. It was probably going to be an iron knuckle. There's a jar for him. Nice little refill before the end of the palace. Kain's going into a Minecraft room, which is actually kind of a lot of fun to dig down here. He's going to have a nice little pattern he's going to make. But these
He's
one of
going to
the
create himself some stairs here.
now, as fun as it is to dig down, coming out of here with these spawning heads is
Yeah.
it feels like that. You get hit once, they keep spawning on top of you, and every time you jump, it knocks you back down the pit.
Oh yeah, especially when you mess up those stairs, it's impossible to get back up.
Oh, if you don't cast jump to get out, you're not getting out. You're gonna be so low in life, you'll be beeping. Kain doing superb on the XP. Oh, and properly waiting right there and watching his menu. So people have a habit of trying to cancel the menu too fast, and you actually take the wrong level up if you don't look. Especially if the D-pad doesn't register. Oh, that sounds like that's happened to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that and the infamous attack 9.
Oh, attack 9, the most OP
Oh
attack
yeah.
level in any game, which is just a free life. So Kane's gonna do a little setup here with his toe. It's gonna let him just stay in the corner and do corner stretch to Rebo. So that particular pixel lets you hit him once as he's passing by you. You can just hold down stab in the corner and Rebo will just dismount himself right there for you. Now he can walk back and forth, but it doesn't happen that often. It's a really safe strat. It's not much slower than fighting him straight up. Another gamble of a walk. They just want to give it to you, or it doesn't most of the time. You can try to slink through there, but the encounter, if it zones in on you, you're done. Oh, and taking a hit as he leaves. Lost us some beams, which is actually fairly important for a cave coming up.
Yeah, we also have some really long overworld walks in this section, which can be pretty tough.
Yeah, Kane's going into one of the biggest swing moments of the game where I talked to 20 or 30 seconds earlier. You can get good at dodging encounters with pause strats. So in this game, you can actually pause the overworld as an encounter appears. You can see how they're trying to move and try to time it out to move around it. Worth abusing the crap out of it too, because it's actually, no matter how long you take and pause, it's faster than trying to take an encounter and walk through it. So this is another route divergence. Newer text shows that you can skip fire and try to make a walk to the end of the game a little bit more user-based than rolling the dice. But it's fairly tight to slink it, and it's way easier just to get fire now. Kain probably made the fairly decent choice right now. But it's about a 75-second difference in some people's split, so it gets a little weird during a race because you never know who's in the lead.
Yeah, I'll stick River Dance for life.
I still don't like doing late fire, honestly. It's got another benefit is that you take level ups in town, and in this game, if you take a level up in town, it gives you a different fanfare than it does with the the normal level up fanfare, and it's actually half the time. And after Palace 5, you're taking 4 level ups. Oh, Kain choosing to leave town the long way. Oh, now he turns around. Oh, Kain.
Sometimes you get, because every town you leave left except for like 2 towns in the game. So
it's only, I think, 3 or 4. It might even be frames. I don't think it's written down how much longer it is to leave town left in this one, but it's really not that bad. It's more of a joke, like leaving North Palace, the left is faster, but the manip for the P bag is easier on the right hand side, which Kain chose to actually leave left out of North Palace in this one. But yeah, I was hoping that he would keep going left in that town because there's actually a house with 0 windows in it. And it's just really cool because it's the only one in the game.
not the worst thing for Kain to run into the ferry there.
No, that was actually a really good walk. The encounters can random walk sometimes. They got a 25% chance of that. And random walk means you can't predict the way that they're going to move when they hit the center of a tile. And he made it to the end with just a ferry, and he actually wanted that ferry, so he's got some enemies nearby in these overworld encounters called coffee grinders or levers by the proper term, and they actually do exactly half a Link's life of damage right here. So Kain could take 1 hit from one.
So there you saw Kain ferry the boy, which is no animation and faster, but like how's the fairy carrying the little kid? I don't understand.
Well, he's got a bag of holding.
Yeah, okay.
A wizard did it. Like, it's the best I can do. So he actually tried to set up a walk right here called the Dazzle. Sorry to interrupt you, but unfortunately he took an encounter. So the step encounter and the walk encounter, if you wait for a spawn to walk through here, you can actually get to the end without taking an encounter. But Kain's gonna snowball on us here. See if you get the encounter skip on that or not. So there's 2 forced encounters here, like bubble skip. Kain's gonna try to skip them there. You got the first one, and he's doing a little stab buffer as he leaves the screen. Ooh, he's gonna fight coffee grinders. Ah! And those pause buffers or stab buffers that he's doing before he leaves the screen is actually setting it up so that the encounters will cross Link's path, and it gives you the forced encounter skip every time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we quite explained it thoroughly, but encounter skips like that, basically Link is just skipping a trap tile. If we enter that trap tile at the same time as we run into an encounter, it will just skip that trap tile.
And those encounters are actually about 12, 14 seconds long, and one of them's a bubble one that has a high probability of death. Link getting his next skill or sword tech here, which is the upstab, which is the most important sword tech I've ever seen in the Zelda game as well.
Yeah, I think in the run you use upstab like twice, maybe.
1 force spot, but you can actually use the jump spell to get around it, so you don't need it.
I was gonna say there's a second. Is it a Doom Knocker? Yeah, in Palace 4, where
oh yeah, it makes the kills way more fun and satisfying. So there's some use for it. You can use upstab to stun a lot of different enemies like Moas and stuff. It is handy. It's just not as required. But it will save your life from hits. Now getting his reflect spell. He's all set for the next boss.
Worst boss.
This boss is such a pain in the butt in a run that you can lose like 10, 15 seconds on him just by you have no control over it at all.
He's kind of like the Aghanim from Link to the Past.
So Kain actually read a sign there, which it did set the encounter up properly. That wasn't an accident. He read the first 3 letters, which is just as good as the sword stabs. So he's going to keep trying for this encounter skip. Which he got this time, which is good. That is a hard encounter. So again, Link just taking the damage.
Boy, these encounter skips he's trying, he's slinking all of them.
Oh,
which is not easy to do.
It's the speed tech you want to have happen later in the game that's really precise, and he's actually getting it every time to avoid an encounter. Come on. He's just gonna go. This one doesn't have bubbles, so it's not so bad.
It looks like Kain was trying to take the encounter skip from the side enemies instead of the one in front of him, so that's typically why that was happening.
So this walk is known as the Green Mile, and it's, like I said, you can pause buffer and get used to reading where the enemies are going to spawn, but the game does what it wants sometimes. And if you don't know your step in the timer, or have a good feel for the timed encounters, you're going to have a bad time. Oh, Kain taking his first death. So that was a lever hit.
Yeah, we got plenty of lives left, though. We picked up, what, 3 extra lives?
Yeah, Kain's got plenty of lives to finish the game. Typically, we death abuse summon Palace 4, but it's not required for 2 of the death abuses, so Kain's more than okay. The extra life from the graveyard actually leaving Death Mountain was exactly to compensate for that spot right there. Or any unfortunate bot deaths. So he hasn't taken any in the hardest rooms, which is Palace 2 and 3 with the bot bridges. So Kain's doing fairly well right now. So sort of counterintuitive, the longest way through the maze is actually the fastest way. It's got the fewest encounters. Make its way through the only forced tile on the maze walk. This one can be kind of annoying with that first bot that actually hit him because it jumps so early sometimes. Palace 4 is actually it's a deceiving palace. When you first start running this game, this palace will kill you a lot because of the said doom knockers that Fricker was talking about. They're in some weird spots on the bridges, but the more you get used to it, you realize that they're on a room timer as you enter the room, and there's some decent strats, especially with the jump spell, that let you have fun with this palace, and it turns into the one that's the most consistent, and it's sort of fun to run through.
Yeah, for sure. The big thing with Palace 4 too is the reason why we select to death abuse in here, 1 to 3 times if at all. We use a lot of magic in this dungeon, and there's no really good ways to get it back.
Kain just chose to jump that first jump without jump spell too, which I found amazing.
We'll see if he checks for a jar here, so he doesn't have to death abuse.
That's a higher 4-tile jump that he just made, so it's not impossible or anything. It's a lot more forgiving, but it's still kind of nerve-wracking if you don't have Fairy spell queued up. So Kain's still choosing to ignore the death abuse on the first one, which is a decent thing to do, especially down a life.
Yeah, he'll make it through. Basically, there's 3 rooms like this that have a key at the end. And then the first and the third room will have a 50-50 chance at a jar from that knight statue.
The only thing that first jar would have let Kain do is ferry the next item. So he might choose to skip the next death abuse too if he doesn't ferry in this room. But the chances are he's going to ferry at the end of it, even in a marathon setting. Oh, gets a red jar. So yeah, he's going to go for it. No, he's not. Going to get it on the way out. I guess he would have left the red jar to see if he needed a life up from the jackhammer attempt. You can get ejected going for that jackhammer, and the blue iron knuckles like to stand right on top of you and pile up on the life. Get our first look at the raw heads coming up. There's the upstab kill. Kain's just going to skip all of his level ups now that he's got the life level up as well in this palace. He's going to have attack 8 leave in here. We keep our levels low still till then, but at attack 8, Kain's just pretty OP. He's going to one-hit shot or one-hit kill most things. Making his way through the Medusa heads, or raw heads, just the same pattern. Those heads are kind of a pain in the butt if you turn around in rooms like that, because they'll get off-centered, and trying to jump them, if you get hit, you get knocked back, and they're always near lava.
Always.
Kain hit the second Minecraft room. See if this one's the same. Oh, he's going for the faster breaks? No, he's not. I thought he was going right and left. So, Kain getting a beam shot, but no sword came out at that key, proving that key hitboxes aren't real. For a category that requires all keys, keys are actually, they've got a weird wonky hitbox that you can miss the stab a few times. Not taking any damage yet in this palace, and that's fairly impressive.
Yeah, really clean so far.
It's the only palace you really notice the, unless you do them damage lists, it's the only one you notice early on that how much damage will slow you down in this game. Every knockback in this is about 1.2 seconds, I think.
Yeah, Kain's got another Doom Knocker coming up that can be pretty tough to deal with.
Yeah, you've got to do this break right here really fast, and that wasn't quite fast enough, so this next Doom Knocker is going to be off on him. Walk right into a hammer here.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, if you end up getting to the next screen transition...
Oh!
Yeah, if you get to the next screen transition with that Doom Knocker still alive, it becomes so hard to get back through.
If you're down any life like he is right now, you'll probably die from it because you guaranteed 1 or 2 hits from it. Lining up just right. Even if there's nothing appearing by you, if you dig down wrong here, coming back out takes so long to dig up. Every time you hit a wall, you get knocked backwards, and then you got to fight your way back to the side. The rooms are actually fairly tricky. Coming up here, he's got a tin suit that's going to spawn on him. It's actually a pain in the butt because most people forget that tin suit appears and they look left and then you're flashing.
So we'll see if Kain gets the red jar on the statue. If he doesn't, he will have to death abuse.
Oh, he went for a jar. He's going for the death abuse anyway.
Okay, so... Kain, I see.
He was really low in life, and he wouldn't have made it to the end of the palace with that. This next boss coming up, you're almost guaranteed you're going to take a hit from it. Even with full life, if you go in there without shield, you can die from the boss, and you have no control over where it spawns. So with the only strat to take him out, it's just a really unfair point of the game.
Yeah, with only 1 death abuse in P4, he's got plenty of lives. He's fine.
Oh, Kain's super safe right now. Every death coming up isn't forced, so the rest of the run, he doesn't require any more death abuses, which is really nice. He's got lots in reserve, especially for a couple of the bosses. Speed and attack level kind of makes them look easy, but the bosses really aren't that easy in this game. They're fairly beefy. Kain using the reflect spell for the first and only probable time in the run. Fun note, that can actually destroy the hammers from the Doom Knockers, as well as other enemies. Kain getting an amazing Karok kill. I didn't even have to count how many misses there were. So that's about the fastest you can do that.
Yeah, that was pretty great. He got like a triple hit right at the end there.
Oh, that was fantastic. It was a crit.
Yeah, my Karok fights still are going on for another 15 seconds.
Oh, you can throw on some elevator music and just chill out there.
So you see with the boots we got in Palace 4, we can now walk on water.
Saves the walk out of here quite a bit, actually. Get a hidden heart over here. It's hard to say. I don't know if Kain will do it for the marathon or just skip it to the end.
Yeah,
skip it to the end.
Yeah, after Palace 5.
I don't see too many people starting it, but it was something back in the day people would do for safety.
Yeah, for sure. Because the boss at the end of here, Guma, he hits like a truck, so it's always nice to have an extra heart. I'm pretty sure Kain will ferry this key.
Yeah, there's a little trick right here called the Eco Key, and you have to cast jump and do a damage boost up here. Forgetting jump. Oh! Interesting. Kain was either going to attempt the Eco Key and forgot about it, just for the show of it, or he was just trying to psych us out. So you could do a damage boost off a skull, but it's extremely precise to do. And after doing it, you either need a 50-50 drop on a jar, or you need to level up if you miss the Eco Key. You've got one chance to ferry back up and save your run. But it is a pretty big save, about 12 seconds.
Oh, he does get the P-bag drop. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go back for that.
So there's a couple things you can do in here. There's a lot of experience to be had in Palace 5, so if Kain wanted, he could actually take Magic 4 and Life 5 out of here. It's a nice little set of insurance, especially if you're getting a lot of Mago kills. So we have the block room, which is why you want to just ferry the last key most of the time. Kain get an excellent set. Oh. And okay, gets the key. Middle finger for us.
Oh, it started to. Luckily, he's got a jar coming up right here, too.
That room's kind of a jerk. The blocks will fall where they may, and then knock you down, and it's a big time sink. These Mogos that are spawning in here, I think this is the only Zelda game I've ever seen them in.
Yeah, they're super annoying to kill, too.
Oh, they take even at a light or attack 8, they take 2 hits to kill them, and their spawn is extremely random. Same with the bot's movement, and they don't stay on the screen for very long. So if you see one across the screen, you can't get to it to stab at you. They pretty much got to spawn inside of Link, and you have to be down stabbing to get through it. And they hit like a truck, like everything else in this game.
So what Kain's going to do is, throughout this palace, he's going to get his experience. So he's going to level up attack next. But instead of taking attack 9, which we don't want because that's just life, he's going to use those for double levels on life and magic.
Yeah, the next one's got a series of fanfares that if you're into the habit of mashing your start button, can be kind of annoying. It's Kain going for the key first. He's going to get the plunger second.
Good old plunger.
Getting the most unoptimal key in any game ever. He's so far out of the way. Oh, getting a sweet kill off that. Oh, 2! Go 3, go 3! Oh, I didn't get it. So he pressed down frame perfect right there to be inside of the Stealthos hitbox. and to kill it without taking any damage. It's kind of sweet.
Curious if he's going to grab the secret red jar to fill up his magic here.
Oh, let's hope. No block break. Come on, Kain. This jar's got a hidden. Oh, he's in the wrong side.
Yep,
It's this one here.
There
it is. Oh, he didn't break the block. He broke the next one. That was sweet.
That was interesting.
Kain hit it just high enough to activate one, and it's so far inside of the hitbox of the block that he broke the second one. That was cool. Something you don't see happen very much.
Yeah, these little hallways can just tear you apart, so it's probably good that Kain grabbed that extra red jar.
Oh, taking a lot of fire damage. He used life once already, and figure out of this palace, you do have a high chance of dying in this run. Kain's making it look really easy, but there's a lot of tricky spots he's made it through so far. And there's one of them. While you can jackhammer that guy, it's really tight window even at attack 8 to get the kill on the blue iron knuckle here. And he was already really far back by the time he got into. Oh, he's gonna ferry. So if Kain had jumped before he hit the ferry, that guy would have actually pushed back a little bit better for him. Things in this game actually read your D-pad. Most of the enemies you fight, so if you're pressing forward, they come forward. If you're pressing or move back, depending on the program. But so in fairy form, Link retains the position that he was in before he turns into fairy. So like going down the chimney, you have to hold down to be able to press down on the chimney, which I forgot to talk about. But same thing with jumping at Iron Knuckles. They'll move backwards if Link jumps at them. So if you jump and cast fairy, he'll retain that jump position and they'll keep moving backwards for you.
So I believe Kain needs to get at a minimum of 700 XP here to get to the next level.
Yes, the boss is going to give him 500, which will put him over the 1200 threshold. Funny thing is, there's 2 bosses in this, the Rebo from Palace 3, and the boss he just fought actually give you 301, even though it says 300.
He has a couple iron knuckles right before the boss room too, so he should be okay. Plus an extra one right at this key down here.
Yeah, the blue iron knuckle at the bottom here. He's gonna. Ooh, Mago hits. Does have a life cast and a shield cast for going into the next boss, and he should get another Jared drop right here because he's killed enough. I think he's at 4, so the last red guy will actually be his drop. Kain's actually had to jump here. There he is. You have to jump in that hallway to actually slash those guys in the face properly, or else they'll shield you. On the way down, they'll actually drop their shield, so when Link slashes high on a jumping fall, they'll actually drop their shield for you and allow you for some easier hits. I get the bag. Kain has enough XP, but I think he might have to kill the blue guy if this first one's not a drop.
Yeah.
Said that good. You actually have to jump at this guy right. There it is. Don't have to jump, but you have to have enough speed that he stays back.
Yeah, he's 21 XP short, so he definitely has to kill this blue guy. Nice.
Yeah, this next one's going to be his drop. Hopefully it's a red jar. Nope, Pete bag.
So I suppose he could have just killed the red one, but it was a 50-50 if it was a jar or not.
And then remembering to go back to kill the blue guy.
Yeah.
It's really fun when you notice that you didn't have enough XP after you kill a boss.
Nice Guma fight. Kain was right at one hit death there, so it's nice that he didn't have to waste a life.
Guma has a really large hitbox on him, and you have to stick and move on him the entire time. So as long as Kain remembers not to mash the stop button or the pause button, he's going to have 9,000 XP to use on 4 new levels. He's going to take 2 magic and 2 life. Oh, we forgot the heart.
Yep, there we go. Looks like he's going back for it.
Cast Fairy here to get himself to it. He's got enough low XP here that he should be able to make the screen through. He's got to watch his XP though, because if it transitions wrong, yeah, he's gonna wait.
He just
That's a smart move.
Yeah, if you grab that heart, I think at like 6,000 XP, like you're looking at frame closeness of soft locking.
Oh yeah, this is a really common spot for people to soft lock early on in their running career. There's a few tent screens too in the palaces. They're usual spots, but you end up with the exact same amount of XP every time, and it's easy to forget while you're walking. So he's going to do something called the river dance. Sets off the encounters.
Yeah, I don't think Kain burned a step, but we'll see if this works for him.
He didn't, but he still made it to the bridge, which is nice. Taking the... Oh, he got the skip. So he retried the 4 skip, and there's 3 walls here that Link's actually got to get through. They're known as Wilson walls.
Wilson! Wait, no, not that Wilson from Castaway. I don't know why I said it like that.
Well, whenever he messed something up or needed help, he yelled his name. It works. Let it go. So ferrying these is actually the smart move. Taking the knockbacks here isn't a lot of fun, and he'll probably cast fire in the next cave, which is the only time he's going to use fire in this run, if he chooses to use it. Yeah, he is. That's good. You get some Tektites coming up here, which are 1-hit kills with fire, and they're a lot of damage without it. Ooh, he almost mixed the walk. This is another annoying spot of the run. Missing the river dance to skip the first fence, and having the encounter pile up here is not a whole lot of fun.
Probably the only time you'll see the fire cast here.
There's one more spot you can use it, but it's kind of a harder strat to use. But so this will likely be it.
Doesn't look like he got a red jar either, so he probably will be filling his magic with the lady in Hidden Town.
It's nice going out of there because, like I said, the damage from the encounters here is quite extensive, so he'll get to fill his life up in here too, which is nice. It's kind of a crappy spot to start losing life later in a run. So Kain's going to pick up 3 different things in this town. The first being the spell. This spell gives you the magic word that does the spell, and the spell does the thing. It's the most robust spell in the game because it gives you a new entrance and causes the earth to just rise out of the ground in one particular spot, and the other spots, it'll actually turn enemies into bots.
The important thing is, what kind of pose is Kain going to give us here on spell?
I think Kain's going to get nervous, and he's going to blunder it, and he's just going to walk in and cast.
I'll say down stab. Aw, just a little lonely jump pose.
And he didn't even frame it. Oh, come on, Kain. So he's getting the magic key now, or the any key. This key will allow him to open up all the doors in the rest of the game, which is just 1 palace.
Yay, no more small keys. Well, you do see some small keys, but they're from bosses at P6, but no more keys.
They just lock the rooms for you.
It's like, we're going to give you the magical key, so you don't need any more keys. But once you beat these bosses, they're going to drop keys. Got it.
Yep. Right at the end of the game, too. It should be... I always think that it should have been a hidden item, like, in the second continent somewhere, to at least give it some more use in the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Kain getting his last required jar. Not only for 100%, but to get his final spell, you need all the jars in the game. And there's the 3 items from New Kasuto, one of those hidden towns that I don't know how you'd ever find. Way back through these jumping trash cans.
Yeah, once Kain leaves this cave, he's got one more walk to do, which can be pretty tough before he gets the heart piece, and then one final overworld until he enters Palace 6.
Set up a little step encounter here, and immediately takes an encounter. So he's not slinking anything now.
Oh, gotta watch out. Yep. That forest has some additional trap tiles too, where you actually go into a screen without an encounter, and then you have to waste some time to get out of it.
It's not so bad. It's got a 500 bag there, so if you choose some different leveling, it'll actually help you here. Last heart piece, and now we have the hidden sand palace.
This is actually one of my favorite palaces in the game. I'm not sure why, but
honestly, I love the boss fight in this game, or in this palace. I love Barba. This palace has some different types of tech you can do too for just some of the funner jumps early on. And it's more of a challenge not to get hit, so I guess instead of combat abilities, it really handles your, oh, Kain going for the jumps! Wag!
He's a madman.
Just 2 of them he's done without the jump spell. So that's that pit that Kain just jumped over has a chance to waste you off about 15 seconds. It's an infinite looping pit. Another one of these fun turret rooms. So this palace challenges your ability to dodge. Kain going for the block break.
Got Canada Hole coming up.
The laggiest room of the game. Making that 4-tile jump. Kain feeling pretty confident after his P1 fall. So he's going to look for the 3rd statue. And after the 3rd statue, there's a hidden hole he just jumped over. It is a 4-tile jump. So, and not being able to see the edge of it, it's really hard to do. Now we come to the first of the refights. Ribbo. This is almost like a point of sweet revenge. The first guy being fairly tough without being able to do the special tile. And being able to beat him down so fast, it just feels good.
The cross, yay!
I feel this is an extremely important item. This cross actually lets you see invisible MOAs, which are prevalent through the rest of the game. Getting the red jar, refilling his life. Maybe he'll cast fairy. No, just jump. Nice little 50-50 jar. Kain's been pretty good at getting his jar drops.
Yeah, for sure. It's basically once you're out of like Death Mountain P2, like you just that's all you want is red jar drops.
It really will help you finish the run. You'll feel pretty good. You'll take more risks because you know you've been getting some life casts. Wiz robes. It's not a bad room actually. They're fairly annoying for where they spawn. Not because they're hard to block like the Magos, but just because you're always in the air when one spawns and phases into you. Going up to a few of the last annoying rooms of the game. Sans GP. And all the encounters before it. Another Medusa headroom.
Terrible room. I just stop and kill both of these horse heads and just don't even move on until I do.
Oh, if you kill something in the middle of the room like this, they won't respawn until the end of it. Same with the one in P4. So what Kain just did is, like what Fricker said, it's the easiest way. Just kill them and move on. Stop on the big platform. Make sure you're looking the same direction when you kill them, because if you kill one facing left, it can respawn right away. Another red jar.
This guy.
Wow. So he definitely paid off the Dark Lord Ganon before this run. room, kind of annoying just for the anti-fairy bops here. This palace is extremely tight on magic, and Kane's had some red jars, so he's safe. But if you're doing a run of this game and you've cast jump in every room you can't take a hit from those anti-fairies before the end because you need one more fairy cast. So you actually have to really watch it in that room that he just ferried through. Or else you're falling to the bottom and losing about 45 seconds. Two really good Rebo refights. No damage on Kain. Rebos there have a slight disadvantage too. You can actually soft lock them if you kill them on the left side like he just did. If one's halfway off the screen when it dies, the key won't actually drop. So I wonder what kind of kill we're going to get. There's a swag kill you can do here called jackhammering, which you've seen done on blue iron knuckles, but it's a fairly unsafe strat for this boss. No, he's going to go for the easier kill. Almost gets the safe one cycle. Going in for the kill. Oh, we turned into an actual fight. And Barba down. That key is the final boss because a lot of people like to try to grab it in the jumping fashion, and if you down stab it, it throws you off and into the lava.
Fun times.
Oh, it's hilarious.
All right, we are off to one more town to get our last and final spell.
Okay, taking the free fairy cast. You'll likely ferry these bridges all the way through. These bridges aren't actually a lot of fun. There's only 2 little spots for the water, but there's a good chance you're going to fall off into it. This trollfish make it a bad time. Now we're in Old Kasuto. Kain almost taking a hit from that Moa going through the door. Here comes the Thunder Spell. Spell's actually fairly strong. It will kill most enemies in a hit, but it costs you everything. Kain will only have one more level up, which is Magic 8, and there's a good chance he'll kill a lot of stuff in the Valley of Death here, and take that level up and ferry most of Great Palace. Any herder room with a spicy chicken?
Very spicy chickens in there.
Kain doing the fairy strat. There's a red jar right after he leaves here, so this is probably the best way to do it. You don't take any damage. You don't have to heal your Link. You're not down magic.
Yeah, and there is lots of forced encounters for tile skips in the Valley of Death here.
Yeah, you want to go in full.
Oh, he meant to take that encounter on the road, but luckily he didn't get hit.
Yeah, that's kind of sucked. So he's setting up a skip here. Gets it first try. There was one more Wilson wall there. And the free jar. Oh, he's going to queue up the ferry too. So he's going to ferry his first encounter, which is right about here. And you want to take this encounter leaving that cave.
Oh, he just used the free spell.
He's going to abuse it here in the valley, I imagine. You turn these Moes into bots and you just get yourself through. Kain duking it out. Oh, no, taking a death. So this is a nerve-wracking point of the game. No matter how good you get at the game, it's always an interesting point.
So that was down to 2 lives left, or I missed
2
it.
lives. It's 2 lives. I think you can die twice. Is that 4, 3? It should be 2 right now. So he can die twice, and he's just going to abuse spell the rest of the time through here, which is the smart move to do.
Yeah, and then just take a death abuse at the end of GP.
Oh, it's great. The death abuse is only a 7-second loss, and you completely refill everything. And if you've got an extra life, you're not going to die going to the end of the game from that point on.
Yeah,
plus, you can.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, being able to ferry through GP by doing this level up strat he's going to do is just a godsend. It's going to make GP way easier and safer for Kain.
The nice thing about GP is you actually respawn there if you lose all your lives in game over. Unlike anywhere else, you'd have to start back at the church where Zelda's at.
I think it was accidentally left in, and it's a really good thing they did that.
Yeah, that would be a huge pain to have to do that walk all over again.
I don't even think you'd see as many runners with this if that happened. Just
Yeah,
the
that's
learning factor of it, yeah. Going for his last encounter skip. And he'll get through here and do some life up, and then he'll kill all the enemies in the next cave, take his level up, and move on. And Blue Lizalfo's fights are always fun.
Wish he would. Okay, he did get a life in there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did before he fought the blue guy.
All right, down to 2 health, but luckily we're probably just going to ferry the spicy chicken rooms as much as we can.
Oh, there's only going to be one room that's really going to give him a. Well, I shouldn't say that actually. There's a bunch. This makes some of the harder ones. This one right here will probably ferry. Yeah. So any room that these guys here that are throwing the fire, these are the spicy chickens. And when they're on stairs above Link, they're really hard to get past. There's 3 rooms like that.
Yeah, those enemies are just so unpredictable. And when the fire hits the floor too, the fire can travel different ways.
Yeah, you can't tell where it's going to go. They'll throw some backspin on it and just corner Link, and you can't jump over it because you're going to take a hit from the next one. So you kind of got to sit there and just take it and try to get through them. He does have a chance to jar halfway through here, so as long as he ferries the next spicy after this guy, he can keep resetting it and get his life back. Oh, and it goes in the doorway on him. It's going down. Go back. No. What's it doing? I've never seen it stuck like this.
Yeah, there you go. Just hit him in the hole.
Oh,
next one came. Next statue. There we go.
So Kain was crouch stabbing at them, and they actually have a high hitbox. You have to standing stab at those guys.
I really wish he would heal here, but
yeah, he's going into a room after this that's actually one of the hard ones.
I would heal and take that jar. Nice.
Oh, went for fire. Make it through without the next one respawning. He's in good shape. This room here, if you go backwards after you kill these guys, they'll start respawning again. So when you hit the blocks too hard, you'll actually... There it is. Oh, nice op stab. That was slick.
Also, those enemies are called fuckas.
Hilarious.
That's a perfect name for those enemies. It's terrible. Just straight bullies. One of the developers like, hey, I got a good name for these guys. And everyone at the table is like, yeah, I like it.
The entire palace is full of them. Any of them, even with the just breathing fire or the swords, they all have the same name, just with the color in front of them. Oh, missing the jump. Oh, getting beat up by Roz. Oh no.
Oh, he is not in a good spot. Oh no. Reset this room, please.
So the heads won't respawn now. There he is. So GP's full of tricks, and he actually got through one of the Bird Knights a little easier on one of the past rooms. He upstabbed and moved through it. It's kind of really slick. So he's going up here on purpose, and I'm not sure if he's going to kill Scott.
Yeah, he's going to kill him.
Okay, good.
This guy.
So there's a little cheese strat here. That's Scott Bicula, and this room is the Quantum Leap. You can actually go through it fairly quick if you get a lucky spawn on it. Nice kill! And you would actually have to do a 4-tile jump, 5-tile jump right there, and stab the wall at the same time and jump through it without losing any momentum. It's a really tight jump, and Kain made a smart choice there because that guy will kill you in 2 hits. Kane's got enough to ferry and shield through his next couple rooms, and he's got Jar drop 50-50 chances coming up. He's in really good shape now for the end of the game. And a nice skip at the end. Last tough bird night. Oh, almost gets the upstab through him twice. Now these guys spawn in different positions every time.
They are super relentless too. Like these guys will follow you to the end of the earth.
Oh, this guy's gonna make it. Oh no.
Oh.
He's
coming, dude. I will hunt you down.
The Terminator coming to get Link. You don't even have to activate them like you do most enemies. They'll just follow. Oh, nice. Going for the fairy. Down stab. Kain getting out of there. There is a 1-up to the left, but Kain doesn't need it. Downside to casting life a few rooms ago. We can't fairy at this last guy. Oh, nice skip. Doesn't even need the fairy.
Yeah, it was a wise choice to grab that because he's gonna death abuse here coming up in the next room, and then that'll still give him 1 comfy life to work with just in case on Thunderbird.
Perfect spot. We got to see King Bot a second ago, which is kind of cool. He's one of my favorite enemies, just because he's so different out of place.
Yeah, so we're getting to Thunderbird here, and the only way to damage Thunderbird is to cast Thunder when he is on screen, which will allow you to attack the head. So Kain with full magic at level 8 is going to use Shield, Jump, and Reflect to help mitigate the damage from the fireballs that Thunderbird spits out.
Kain going for the quick Panic Dolphin strat on T-Bird, which I like to see at the end of a run, though there is a more consistent way. This one looks cool when you one-cycle it. Kain taking down Thunderbird easy.
Yeah, nice Thunderbird. He's just got to deal with Dark Link now, and we golden. I'm not sure if maybe this is PB pace for Kain. I don't know.
Can't see his split, so I'm not really sure. I think this is actually. He's doing really, really well.
Oh, he said no. 126 is his PB. Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, just going with the lower corner strats with Dark Link. Pretty easy to do.
Crouch down and stab him. There is a pattern to him. You can do some jumps and stab him as he comes in. Dark Link damage is all timer based. He can only damage him in between like every 260 frames or something.
And GG.
And it's GG. Thanks a million.
Thanks a million.
You are a hero. Link getting back the Triforce. Waking the Princess Zelda. And that's Zelda too, 100% all keys. That was a great GP and a really nice finish by Kain.
No, that was a really good run, Kain. GG, man.
Yeah, great job, Kain. That was a lot of fun to watch, man. Awesome job.
Oh, perfect.
That's something I didn't mention about the reflect spells. It'll actually make Link's hitbox smaller.
I would maybe try something to fill the rest of your time slot just so nothing is not on screen. But really good run, Kane. GG again, and Highlander was a absolute pleasure to do comms with you.
One of the cool things about this is oh, you too, Fricker. This is freaking awesome. Thanks for being here, man. Well, you do have a new game plus in this. Can you finish a run? New game plus is a lot of fun. You keep all your levels and all your items. Or your spell, sorry. It'll give you a press start right here. So we'll see how many deaths you had. Or no, it just shows game overs, doesn't it? Does it? Which is it? Oh, 0, 0, 0. I couldn't remember.
What a gamer.
Can you do a healer glitch? Okay. There's a cool wrong warp early on in the game. With the healer, you can make her walk the wrong way and into the sky, go into her room, and end up in King's Tomb.
Eco key, maybe?
There, were you trying to go for it?
Oh. Okay. I got you.